Hey everybody, Kellen here, and I want to talk about today indirect costs versus direct cost because what I find are a lot of entrepreneurs, especially those starting out, but the way you start out, I was told by a coach, is the way that you finish in any business. And it's harder to build up rather than if you're looking for top tier clients, you need to go after top tier clients in the beginning versus going after whatever you can get. I think that was some great advice that I got that I wanted to share because sometimes when you're starting a new business, especially you're like, let me just get clientele. Let me go after this. Oh, I heard the government spending that and let me do this and let me do that. And a lot of times people don't shake that, or it can take them even a decade. I know people who are in consulting and public relations and marketing, and they're still taking $500, to do full-time work, where $500 could be an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours at worst scenario, depending on what type of work they're doing. And, it's one thing if you enjoy the work, it's another thing if you're just doing it just to pay the bills. But I wanted to show you what the indirect cost, because while coaching somebody, they were like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, wait, you've been doing business for a while and you don't know indirect costs. So let's make it simple. Let's keep it short and keep it simple. So if you look over here, you got direct costs. You look over here, you got indirect costs. You look back over here, you got direct costs. That's your direct labor, your direct materials, your manufacturing supplies. On the other side, on the right, you have your indirect costs, your rent, your utilities, your office expenses. You know what I even throw in there sometimes is what it costs you to learn what you're going to teach somebody else or show somebody else. Indirect cost. Do not skimp. Do not say, I will take, $500 because I can do the work and I can pay, and I think I will pay myself like $20 an hour or something like that. You might as well get a job. Don't do that because you forgot about your indirect cost. Don't be so hungry. You are going to hit what you aim at, is the old saying, and you have to count in the indirect cost. And this is what happens to a lot of times in consulting, public relations, marketing, any type of whatever you can think of, that a lot of it has to do with soft skills. People will try to say, well, let me see what you can do. Show me an example. Or they want some long drawn out story or some long drawn out plan. Stop all that. Don't do that because they would not pay for that. They won't pay for it. And that's part of your, and depending on how you do it, that's part of your indirect costs or your direct costs. To me, that's direct costs, but because you're not going to charge them anyway, whatever I got to do to get you to see that you are putting way too much time and effort into work that they don't appreciate you. Would you even go to a fast food place and they don't appreciate you? If they say, hey, you have to buy your own shoes, your own pants, and you're already broke. And I know that there's places that do that. I worked 2 days at McDonald's after graduating with the bachelor's, about to go into grad school. And I'm like, hold on. You guys charge? And if you can't afford it, they take it out of your check on some Rockefeller stuff. You might as well find my home if I was, didn't have a home or didn't have a car. Can you put all that in the check too? So to me, your indirect costs, you have to remember, you can't work on someone's project as a consultant without a cell phone, without lights, could you do it without a cell phone? Maybe it'll make it a lot harder. And are they going to pay for your gas? Let these things like direct cost and indirect cost, it can be like it can come in the middle where you're like, I don't know which one is which. What I do know is this: people always try to prove you wrong. People always try to undervalue you. If you do not value yourself, no matter who you are, a lot of times in this corporate world, people are trying to fit in. There is no more fitting in. be you, be comfortable, get the work done, and people will come back no matter what. You're talking to the brother with, the red frames, the hoot rag, diversified game headband, and the love locks that I have. People think now I have cornrows who don't know. And they're like, you have cornrows now? So my hair is still locked. It's just style. I'm still able to do business in a corporate setting because one, I'm comfortable with myself. Two, I have a skill set that most people don't have. What we do, most people, they guess at it, where if you tell me this is what we're going after, this is what we're going to get, in Jesus Christ's name, please believe it by any means necessary, but he makes a way. But you have to put in your indirect costs. Too many times you're just putting your direct cost, and a lot of you are even paying for the direct cost. So if you were at a job and they told you, hey, you have to bring your own computer, your own supplies, your own this, your own that, you'd say, I hope I'm getting paid real well. But if you're not getting paid real well and you have to bring all those things, your clients have to pay for that. Computers can go down at any time. Lights cost, blue screens, whether you're using them or not. All those things cost money. You have to get paid. And if you don't take care of yourself, this is something I always tell my little one, because sometimes, kids, they'll cough all day if you let them, or sniffle all day. And I say, go blow your nose. If you need an inhaler, go use an inhaler, whatever you need. But if you don't take care of yourself, who will? Nobody. And it's the same way in business. If you do not value yourself and your time, who will? I have packages where I try to make it as affordable as possible to help and support entrepreneurs, just, as much as we can, without being part of their business where I am now a partner that's not being paid. I have to get paid. I get flack for that. I know people who've known me for 20 years and they say, hey, man, I got this automated text. I got to book time to talk to you. No, if we're friends and we're just talking about stuff, but if we're talking about business, especially business that you're going to eat off of, yes, you do. Man, I was talking to my sister-in-law and I was going to give her something, and I had my wife say no. She asked me about that. She needs to run that money, and she did it like that. So it's about you hit what you aim for. Here, I think I'm being the nice family guy. And what I do know is people do not respect what you give them for free. They don't respect it. They don't respect you. They'll always think you are either easygoing, they can get over on you, a pushover. But when they have to pay, oh yeah, they start working on their own stuff, because they're like, wait, I just paid, hundreds of dollars to talk for an hour, or I paid, thousands of dollars to talk for a few hours in a month about, my plan. And you're really doing them a disservice when you just keep pushing people for free who don't respect you themselves a lot of times. But it's like someone paying for a trainer, and I use this all the time. If you're paying for a gym membership and then you're paying for a trainer, you are going to go to the gym more likely, or you are going to get off the pot and say, you know what, I just like being out of shape, or I can do it on my own, whatnot. But I don't want to talk about your business for 50 years. So you have to charge. And people say, well, what do I charge? It is not up to me to what you charge. What the going rate is, you can ask. You can even consult with a consultant in your field. You can call me and book a time and say, hey, I just want to talk about, how do I even get started? Because I know I have the skill set people need. I know I have this business or this product that people need, but that is a business conversation. Why would I want to talk about your business for free? Why would I want to take time out of my day when I could be enjoying my family, or working on my other businesses, or creating something, which I'm going to create right after this, and it's going to be fun? Why would I want to do that and talk to you for free? Who are you? Like people sometimes think, wow, I am so special. Somebody wants to talk to me for free. I have people calling me all the time saying, hey, we got to talk business. Well, if we got to talk business, you got to book a time. Does that make sense? If we're talking business, you're booking a time. Period, point blank. Unless you got me on retainer and I can pay the team and we're doing all type of different things. But my life is different where I like to create, I like to do business, but I love my family time. I love being able to kick back and enjoy that time. I love being able to have me time as well. I like having time, to just think. So keep that in mind. Next time somebody tries to say, oh, does it really cost that much? Bring in indirect costs because yes, it does, and much more. Don't forget what it took you to learn or produce. I don't care if you're a plumber. What did it take you to become a plumber? If you do refrigerator repair, what did it take you? They have to pay a portion of that. Whether it's big, whether it's small, but what about your time? How are you going to get to the 6-figure? Okay, you're already there. How are you going to get to the 7-figure? Okay, you're already there. How do you get into the 8, the 9, the 10 figures if you are not going up on your price or expanding to where you can have so many clients? You're not worried about that. You set a price. If you can get this many clients at that price, you're good because you don't always have to go up on clients. Sometimes when people go up on clients, it's their own insecurity saying, oh, I only have 1 or 2 clients and they have to pay me X amount so I can, pay my rent, pay my bills, pay for the kids' jujitsu, pay for this and that. No. That's wrong because now you are leaning on the client so much that if that client decides to go out of business, sell, or whatever, now you're busted and disgusted. That's not what you want. You want to have so much business going on and have it at a place and a premium. That's fine, but where they're comfortable. But also if things shift in their business, that you don't necessarily have to cut them, but you can cut back on services and give time to another business, give time to another client, give time to yourself to develop something. Because people can change at any point when you're doing consulting, PR, marketing, advertising, whatever. And I've seen companies that, they can lose 2 million on their Microsoft account in public relations, but they're still going. And Microsoft might have said, you know what, we don't need all those fancy other things you're doing and all those 100 offices that you have around the world. So just keep that in mind. Because one thing about people with jobs versus people who are entrepreneurs, the entrepreneur to me is in a better position of being able to control what's going to happen for the next 5 to 10 years. Now, the person having a job, they're good until company policy change, till budget cuts, till COVID-19 comes, right? Or again, and until they find a way to AI to replace you. Don't let that happen. Be so skilled where you can boss up, you can double up. But these are the things that you got to think of. This is why even the coaches need coaches. I know I love my mentorship that I get because it only makes me better. And it is so worth the price. And the people I know that have mentors, paid mentors, that is, they are always in a better place. Why? Because they have a coach. So they can't worry about, oh man, this is gonna, be hard or difficult. No, that's why you got your coach. That's why you got a team. That's why you got your assistants. That's why you got your whomever, your graphic designers. So don't worry. Coaches are here. Sometimes I tell people, hey, I'm not the coach for you, but I know who is. Because if you can't take it firm and direct, you're at some point, I'm going to be doing you a disservice, and you're going to be so sensitive where you're going to want to jump off the ledge, whatnot. But my thing is results. I don't have time to worry about, are you in your feelings today? Are you a Devo or a diva? That's not what we need to worry about. We need to worry about the business, because the business is the purpose, and those are the only type of clients that I want. Any wishy-washy and let me see how it is, let me taste it first. We don't deal with that. So remember, read up. There's so much reading and books you can read on direct costs, indirect costs. I tell you, and if you ever want to go after government work, you actually will need this. You'll need to know your direct and indirect costs because they want to know why they're being billed. People say, oh, there's tons of money in the government. Yeah, there is. Depends on how you get it. And it also depends on what they make you go through to keep it. So you guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe. You can support this type of content by checking out the links in the description box. You can really support by leaving a comment as well and just saying, hey, I want to see more. I want to learn more. This is that free 99 coaching where you can watch with your eyeballs or your ears, but we want to make sure we give you the game. Peace.